Let's see. And
Okay, so we are officially live.
hello.
Hello. So, are you gonna do the intro, or let's wait until a couple of people show up?
Yes. We will wait and see. Let's. I'll put it in there too.
Look good on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I should probably look at that. I didn't even. Oh, there's Cheyenne. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, Cheyenne's here.
Yep.
Well,
Hey, he is first. You
my
gotta respect the first, right?
oh, definitely. All hail King Cheyenne.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, what's up?
How are you doing today? Pixelated.
Hello, Pixelated.
Yeah, I should probably get. So.
Hey, Cheyenne.
Hey, it's good, Saf.
Yo, Pixelated. Yeah, we're good, and you? Hey, what's up, Saf?
How you all doing today? It's the weekend. We can't be too mad, right?
Hopefully, hopefully not too mad.
Nah. We'll be chilling this weekend. In America, we got NFL football, so that's always exciting. But yeah.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, my favorite player playing, man. We gotta respect the GOAT.
Oh, hey Delpy, what's up? I know nothing, completely zero about American football, so I cannot
Yeah,
relate.
I was
Sorry.
assuming so. Most of the world outside of America is like, nah. Do you know who Tom Brady is?
Yeah. I've heard of Tom Brady.
Okay, yeah, all right. Then
Yeah,
that's good
yeah.
enough.
He's like, yeah, I know he's basically like the what's the word I'm looking for? He is the when someone mentions Tiger Woods, you think
Yeah,
of
the
golf. Yeah,
GOAT.
whenever I
Yeah, we
hear
always
Tom
say
Brady, I
GOAT.
think of football.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
greatest of all time. Yep. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
definitely. Oh, we're good. We're good, Saf. Thanks for asking.
How's it going?
Okay. Yeah. Hello, Olatunji. How are you doing? It's great to see you here. Wow, it's
All right.
awesome to see, so many people here
Yeah,
already.
if you guys have any questions throughout, feel free to ask, and we'll try to address as many as we can. But we're mainly going to talk about the S21 series, and that's going to be a fun time. The Samsung event in general. So yeah.
hmm I think, well, my thoughts are specifically about the events. Samsung is very interesting with their timing.
Right.
They released, they turned, how do I put this? They took off the embargo immediately the event started. So that was pretty weird,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
I feel like they've done that, and then what people do is they don't watch the event. They just say, "Oh,
Oh,
Marquez posted
definitely.
a video. Let's go see what he has to say," right? But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I did
Yeah.
end up watching a decent amount of the event, even post, just because I'm curious. I think
Mm-hmm.
they did a lot better at this Unpacked than some of the previous ones. So
Mm-hmm.
they did a good job there. Classic Samsung being Samsung. There was times where, they're talking a lot about 8K video recording, and I'm like, no one cares about this. Like,
No,
we're
no.
not shooting in 8K. We don't have 8K TVs. Samsung, why are you stressing on this? But hey, you know.
Yeah, they're just, focusing a lot on the hardware and like, they have so much more to work on.
Yeah, definitely.
I favor
Yeah, that's a
what's
thing
up.
because with the hardware, I feel like they've gotten to the
Mm-hmm.
point where they're pretty mature, at least in this form factor. Unlike, Apple per se, Apple could get rid of the notch. Apple could add a high refresh rate display. Samsung has those
Mm-hmm.
things, and really, I'm mostly looking forward to like graphene batteries and under display cameras in the Galaxy lineup. But overall, very mature for the form factor.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now we have the goat of the TYU in the chat. We
Yeah.
have to acknowledge the presence of Sir David. David,
How's it going,
welcome, sir.
David? We got a
How's
in
it
there
going,
too. How
man?
you doing? And then we got
Yeah,
Saran.
we've
What's
got
up, Saran? If I,
yo, Audrey,
if
what's
I,
up,
all right,
man?
I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's name. Sometimes I read in TYU people's names and I still mispronounce them, so I do apologize if I did. But yeah,
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. We're all learning.
yeah, definitely,
We're all
definitely.
learning. Yeah, man.
Okay,
So,
interesting
yeah.
comment. Did you
Oh,
see? Olatunji says that the S21 series is mid. So I'm guessing that means like mid tier, right? Um,
yeah.
Yeah, definitely interesting because
Well,
the S21, um, the base one, I think could be
hmm
considered like upper mid-tier model. It's got plastic, unlike the other two.
hmm
So
yeah,
definitely, but high
yeah.
in
It's
spec.
yeah, no, definitely high end specs. But then the thing is, with the S20 FE, which was, pretty, I wouldn't call it a mid ranger. But it was pretty good at $700.
Yeah,
Samsung just, they kind of took away every reason to get the normal S21 because
because the S20.
you get the S20 FE. It's cheaper than the S21. Both of them have plastic builds. Both of them have triple camera setups. Like it's almost basically the same phone with just a different chipset. So it's
Yeah, I guess the S21 at least in comparison has a more like modern design, at least from the front. There's not
mhm.
as big of bezels, and then the back camera looks really clean in my opinion. I feel like that might be polarizing for some people, but I think the
Mhm.
new back design looks a lot better than the previous series.
Uh-huh. Yes. I think the new back designs are pretty cool, but to be very honest, I'm not the biggest fan of any other color except for the black, and then maybe that red one with the gold trim because it looks like Iron Man's colors.
Yeah, it's
But yeah,
dope,
the
right?
other ones, the purple, yeah, it's really dope. But the purple and gold look kind of odd.
Yeah, I actually ordered the silver because I like the way the Phantom Silver looked. So in the S20
hmm
Plus, that's the one I'm going to review. So should be
hmm
fun.
Yeah.
Team Pixel.
Internet. Yeah, internet says mid tier is where the fun is at nowadays. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, that's a great
A
point
lot of
because
flagships are very
yeah,
overpriced. Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
mid-range sector is
Marquez
gonna be
always
the
says,
most exciting part, don't you think?
mhm. "Oh, yeah, definitely." Marquez always says that cheap smartphones are getting good. So, yeah, the mid tier segment is usually. Oh, okay. I
Oh, we
just
got the
saw
man
I just saw
Viper in here.
Yeah, we
Hey,
got the man about tech. Okay.
the
Shout
man
out
about that.
Viper, the man
King
about
of
tech.
Team Apple, man.
Thanks for, yeah.
Let's get it.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
through,
we
man.
really
It's
appreciate it.
really appreciate it. Okay. All right. Aldo says, honestly, I wasn't hyped about Samsung's new lineup of smartphones. Yes. To be very frank, I agree with this comment because I really did not feel so enthusiastic about this lineup, this S21 lineup of smartphones. It feels like we already knew what Samsung were going to do, and as who I forgot who said it, he said that Samsung has reached kind of like the pinnacle of hardware advancement for right now. And there's only so much they can do. There's only so much more they can shrink the bezel. There's only so much more they can increase the battery. And aside from software features, we can't really get anything significantly more impressive. So the smartphones are going to kind of seem like a repetition of the previous years and so on with just newer specs.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like foldables is probably where we're going to be looking at innovation in the future from Samsung. Maybe they'll also do a rollable one. We'll have to figure out the advantages of that. I'm excited to see the TCL one at least that was announced at
Mhm.
CES. But yeah, I actually have been looking like to get a phone, like an Android one, and I think I might go with the S20 Plus because the S21 is going to bring it down even more on the used market, and it's almost as good in many ways as the S21 Plus. So definitely interesting to see the value proposition that's brought up by these new ones.
Oh yeah, definitely interesting. Um, so Olatunji says, I don't think the S Pen was necessary. Samsung, honestly, I don't know what they're doing, because now it's kind of like confirmed that we're not going to get a Note series, or this will be the last one, because the only thing that made the Note series the Note over the last couple of years has been the S Pen. You know, the Note was the smartphone that had everything. Then they took away the headphone jack. It was the biggest Samsung smartphone, but then we started getting the S20 Ultra. But now they're taking away the S Pen, and I'm like, all right, interesting. So we've got an S series smartphone with an S Pen, which is basically a Note. You know, what was the reasoning behind that, or what do you think? I don't think it was necessary. I don't think they should have put the S Pen.
So, like you said, maybe if they're going to get rid of the Note, but maybe it's also because they are only putting it in the Ultra, they want to give people more reasons to buy the Note, the S20 Ultra, S21 Ultra. Well, sorry. But yeah, I think it's just Samsung saying, all right, we need to find more ways to make differences from last year's model, because although the S21 Ultra is a decent upgrade, it hasn't blown us away in any ways. And we should highlight some of those differences, at least between the S21 or the S21 Ultra and the S20 Ultra. So we finally get 1440p at 120 hertz, which is great to see. We got two telephoto lenses. One is a 10 times telephoto, or well, it's a periscope, so 10 times periscope, and the other one's a 3 times telephoto. So very interesting to see in the camera hardware there. It uses the 108 megapixel camera still, but Samsung does say that is more refined. And we luckily get the laser autofocus that we saw in the Note 20 Ultra, because one of the biggest things last year was that it had focusing issues, right? And then, you know, the Snapdragon 888 or Exynos 2100, and then no micro SD card support this time. So that's like a roundup of the major differences I can think, in addition to what we talked about with the S Pen. So a decent upgrade, right? If you're an S20 Ultra user, you're thinking, maybe I can just keep my phone, or you know, maybe some of those additions are going to be really important to you. What do you think? Would they be important to you, Johannes?
Hypothetically speaking, if I did have an S20 Ultra, I don't think I would upgrade to the S21 Ultra, because, okay, yeah, of course you do get 120 hertz at Quad HD, but I mean, yeah, most of us are going to keep it at 1080p anyway. Yeah, okay, yeah, you did mention the periscope lens and the 3 times telephoto lens, but I mean, with the S20 Ultra, you still do have a periscope lens and all of that. So the upgrade is not that significant that I would say, you know, drop your S20 Ultra and go for the S21 Ultra. Yes, they're trying to entice more people with the new design, with the S Pen, and with the you know, with all the other things that you did mention. But at the same time, Samsung is taking a step forward and a couple of steps back. You know, they're taking away they took away the expandable storage. They took away the charger from the box after a couple of months after making fun of Apple for doing that. You know, it's quite interesting, you know?
Yeah.
It is so hypocritical.
Defense here. At least they dropped the price by $200 from the previous model. So claps for that, you know? That is probably the thing I'm most excited about with the S21 series. Good job, Samsung, keeping it at least more affordable than last year.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, you do have a point there. I mean, with the Ultra. But at the same time, I do think that Samsung's smartphone strategy is a little bit too it's weird. It's really weird, because you drop 3 huge smartphones, you know, your flagships at the beginning of the year, and then you're going to drop another 2 or 3 flagships towards the end of the year as well. And it's kind of like, you know, why not just, if they're going to merge the S and the Note series together, why don't they just drop the S21 Ultra, for example, and the S21, in January or February, and then in the middle of the year we get some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Like
you
an
know the
update
way with yeah,
with
no,
OnePlus.
not necessarily. Yeah, no, not necessarily an update, but
Okay.
you know the way Apple, they announced all four smartphones at the same time, yeah,
Yeah.
and they released the 12 and the 12 Pro at the same time, and then after like a month or two, they released the 12 Pro Max and then the 12 Mini.
Yeah, but that was only because of production restraints. They would have dropped them all at the same time if there hadn't been a pandemic.
Mm. But yeah, despite the fact that it was a production restraints, it still did help them stay in the media much longer. Because
Yeah, great
Samsung
point.
phones tend to get forgotten after the first couple of months. People forget about it. We get OnePlus, we get every other smartphone brand all through the year, and the only time we do remember about Samsung is when they start bringing out the Note series towards the end of the year. And yeah, it's just I don't know. I just feel like the timing is a little bit too choked up.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely is interesting because they usually do it in like March, right? That's when they usually at least send out the phones, and it's going to be coming at the end of the month for a lot of us, which is an interesting choice, especially if they were to get rid of the Note series, because like you said, there is a long time where they're not going to be in the media if they're not dropping the Note series. But that
Hmm.
said, they probably will drop the Z Flip sequel and the Z Fold sequel. So maybe that's what they're moving towards now. But
Mm,
yeah, it's definitely interesting.
yeah, I think Samsung should, if they're gonna like make the Ultra thing a staple, then we don't really need an S21 Plus. Just give the S or let them. They should do it like this. Let's have the S21 Ultra, the S21 Plus, and then convert or turn the normal S21 into the S21 FE or something. Kill the normal S21, and then let their end all be all super high end Kamehameha flagships be the foldables, the Z
Right.
Flip, the Z Fold 3. Yeah, like let those be the new notes. I think someone said it in the comments. Well, let's take a look at the comments.
Yeah.
Brett here says the purple one reminds me of Thanos from the Avengers. Yes, that
Yeah, it
that
does
color
look like
scheme.
it, doesn't it? That's quite cool.
It does look like, yeah, it does look like Thanos. Okay, Pixelated says, oh no, not that one. Okay, so Pixelated says, not gonna lie, I was pretty excited for the S21 line. Well, I mean, yeah, of course, there are still a couple of things to be excited about for the S21 line. So yeah, it's okay.
I'm always
He
excited
also
for
said,
the big events, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
You
for
always
new
have
tech,
to.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. He also says, are any of you planning on getting the S21? I think you said you ordered one of them already. Yeah.
Yes, I ordered the S21 Plus. Now, I likely won't keep it, but we'll see, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. As for me, I am not in a financial situation to be able to order any of those, so I'm gonna just stick with my Note 10 Plus, and
Great phone right there.
yeah, for the foreseeable future. Yeah. Brett again says the Fold will turn into the Note eventually,
Yeah,
and
very well
yeah,
could.
I think yeah, very well could. So the Fold would be, Samsung's do everything smartphone without the headphone jack, of course. But
Yeah. Oh, man.
yeah, okay. So we talked about the charger.
So wait, I want to
Um,
see, and I apologize for mispronouncing, but I'm Tenet talked about, I think techies forget about them, but yeah, right there. But they do go on sale, and a lot of people, like the general public, does buy throughout the year, and that's a great point. Like I tried to say, one of the things that I was most excited about was that it's going to push down the prices of the S20, like the last year's S20 used, and I can get those on a really good value. Even right now, they've depreciated half their price if you go look on Swappa here in the US. So, and I think it's going to push down just a little more too. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, you're definitely right. The average
mhm.
consumer, they don't buy always right at the launch like we do. And that's key because a lot of the Samsung phones do go on sale. Like I got my boss, the Note 20 Ultra, around Black Friday time, and we got them it for $750. So from the $1,300 price tag, And because we didn't buy it right away, you're getting a lot better deals on these really good phones. So, yeah, definitely a good point right there.
Yep, definitely agree with you. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people might actually really want to get these smartphones, but then wait until they're on sale so they can be more affordable and then get them
Yeah.
throughout the year. So yeah, thank you, I'm Tenet, for your for your contribution. That's cool. Okay, so here we've got one from Technology. Hey Ranveer. He says, I think the S Pen will go on the foldables and the S series won't be the flagships anymore.
Could be interesting,
Okay.
right? I think the
Yeah, it
hardest
could be
part
an
about
interesting.
the S Pen right now on foldables is those displays just cannot support them. We have that plastic layer on top of the UTG, and there's not a chance an S Pen would ever look, decent on that. You'd have your entire display scratched up. We have some pressure issues, but as foldables mature, maybe you're right. Maybe they go into the phone. Like, how cool would it be to have a Z Fold 2 with an S Pen just, in it like a note? I think that would be very cool.
It would be pretty awesome. It would be pretty awesome. Okay, here we've got one from, Brett's showing some love for the Note 10 Plus. Yes, Note 10 Plus does rock. Hey, we've got Matt in the chat. Hey Matt, what's
how's
up?
it going,
Great to
Matt?
see you, man. How's it going, man? Great to see you. Okay, Meadow Unboxing says this stream. Okay, so this is a Nigerian joke thing. So thank you, Meadow. We see you too. The
How's it
General
going,
Secretary of.
You're doing well, man.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, very interesting. This question is for you, Adam. How do you afford all these expensive tech items?
Okay, so here's how I afford it. I don't. Now, a lot of this stuff I get, I have to return. So I know some people are against this concept of, buying and returning. It's not, the most favorable one. Of course, we'd like to get sent them like a bunch of the other big tech YouTubers, right? But in a sense, we are giving these companies free marketing by, making multiple videos with them without them even having to send us a phone. So a lot of the times I'm returning phones and I'm not keeping them for myself. The goal is to try to keep, some things to do the longer term reviews on that we do. And that definitely happens. But sometimes if you just want to cover something, you got to pick it up from a local store and then you have a return window, especially if you can't afford the highest end tech. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We got to do what we can until, you get to a stage where money is not really a restriction, because a lot of the big YouTubers do get review units. They don't necessarily buy these, devices by themselves. And even when they do, they actually do they can make the money back via, sponsored videos or AdSense and all of that. Some of us, for example, I am not monetized. I don't get AdSense. We don't have sponsors for the channel just yet. So yeah, it's kind of difficult to, afford all these devices without having to return them. So we do what we can to make content. That's what's important.
And even on AdSense, like I'm on AdSense, and I could probably afford one phone a year via AdSense. So it's rough. It's rough. Being a smaller YouTuber, we try our best to get you guys the content we can. And, I hope you guys do enjoy. But yeah, money is definitely something we are continuously thinking about.
Oh, yeah.
And that, in
definitely.
a sense, it's a good thing, right? Because if we are like keeping it and spending our own money, it means that we really do care about it because we don't have that excess funds to just keep all these phones, right? So we can come from a perspective that's more or less like the average consumer in a way. I guess we are still tech heads, so it's not as much the average consumer, but we do try to take that in consideration for sure.
It's more like we're the average tech heads.
We're the average tech heads. We're just not the rich ones.
Yeah, we're just not the rich ones, not just yet. Yeah. Okay. All right, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, Pixelated says, I think it's going to be a couple of years at least until the Note lineup is really dead.
Yeah, it could be interesting, right? I'm very intrigued to see what they do with it this year. I think it does last this year, so I do agree with you there.
Yeah, definitely. And the funny thing is, even after they do scrap the Note lineup, a lot of people would still try as much as possible to get a Note phone or a Note device elsewhere. They could try getting it secondhand or something like that, because the Note phones are just way too good. They're just really, really good. And if you don't want to get a phone with like an external case for your S Pen, then definitely.
Yeah, so did you see
Definitely.
that the S Pen Pro is coming later? So like the current one that's with the S21 Ultra doesn't have like the Bluetooth features. Like when I had the pen, really liked like using it for selfies, so you didn't have to like press, while you're doing it, or just like a remote shutter that you use all the time for your videos when you're filming.
Mhm.
So that new S20 or S Pen Pro that will be coming later in the year will have those things.
Oh, so they're gonna make an S Pen Pro.
Yes, they announced
Interesting.
that at the event. I know a lot of people didn't
Oh,
watch, but I watched.
I did not watch the event. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
watched Marquez's video and I'm like, all right, yeet, I'm out.
yeah, there were very few things I got from the event that I couldn't get from Marquez, right? So
Yeah.
another one that I really thought was good on Samsung's part was the APIs or their camera AI for Instagram and Snapchat. So I think we've all seen the memes of Android phones, quote unquote, having bad Snapchat and Instagram, photo quality and video quality. And Samsung said, hey, we're working
Mhm.
with these companies and addressing it via AI in order for them to perform at like iPhone level. Because, with an iPhone, you have
Yeah.
um, very few models and they can easily tune the apps for that camera. But now Samsung says that they will be having that on the S21 series. So that's something I'm definitely interested to see. Is it going to be as good in Instagram and Snapchat? Maybe. We'll see.
Really, I really, really hope so, man, because we have suffered years of like, having terrible cameras on Instagram and Snapchat and, social media generally for Android phones. And that's another pet peeve I have when people are like, oh, they make so many memes, when I tell a friend to take my picture and then he brings out an Android. I'm like, first of all, Android is an operating system. It's on the camera. Stop shading us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I would really, really, really appreciate that. And then maybe finally the, iPhone versus Android camera debate can die down a little bit, because, oof, it is not easy.
Yeah, yeah, it's an
It is.
interesting debate, right? So I use them both, and I think Android as an operating system is much better, but I'm a tech head, like you said, who likes to customize and tune things to my liking, where a lot of people just don't. So maybe the iPhone's going to be better for those people. But
Mm,
with me, Android phones are just as good as iPhones, even for the average consumer. If you give somebody a Pixel, for example, it's so clean and intuitive. It's like the iPhone of Android almost. So I think
mhm.
with Android, because there are so many options, you get the stereotypes from the lower end Android phones that, maybe are justifiable for some of those stereotypes. But the highest
Mhm.
end Android phones, better than the iPhones in many ways. So
Yeah, but then I mean, take a look at what you just said. The lower end Android phones, you don't get to compare a $200 Android phone to your 800, 900, or $700 iPhone. Like, that's totally unfair. So if you do take a $700 iPhone and a $700 Android phone, then okay, yeah, you do have a fair basis for comparison. But
mhm.
lest we digress into the whole Android versus iPhone topic, because
Yeah.
it's
Should we
very,
read some
very
of the
deep.
chat?
Yeah, let's go into the chat a
Let's see
little
what you
bit.
guys have to
So
say.
all right, so Alex
Hey,
Alex
Alex,
joined
how
us.
you doing, man?
Yeah, Alex, great to see you, man.
Yeah, we really
Alex was
appreciate you
here.
stopping by.
Yeah. Okay. Technology says Adam here with a philosophical TED talk. Definitely, this is the man. Definitely the smartest tech head I know.
I apologize for my philosophy.
No, it's awesome. It's really awesome, man.
Mm.
Okay, David says kidneys are always an option.
I've sold a few
Okay.
of those. I might have like 5 kidneys at this point that, are ready for
Yeah,
sale.
honestly.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
I have more kidneys than most.
Oh, more kidneys, and they always grow back, so it's not a
They
problem.
always go back, man. Just we're a kidney farm. That's how we get our tech.
Yeah,
They asked us
that's
earlier, how do we get our expensive tech kidneys? That is the answer.
Kidneys are the way forward. Think about it. Yeah, I mean, even Alex is like, great point, David. Who needs who needs two kidneys? Yeah,
We don't
it's
need
just the
them.
same way, you know. Yeah,
Good.
who knows? Like, it's like, and I wish we could insert a clip of Steve Jobs saying, "Who needs a stylus?" You know, who needs two kidneys?
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Alex says, I quite like the look of the Ultra, especially the brown colored one. Very tempted to give that a go.
hmm.
The Ultra
Yeah,
is very
I am.
tempting.
Yeah, I'm also very interested in it. I went with the S21 Plus because I thought less people were probably going to cover it. But my uncle I know is going to get the S21 Ultra. Big Android guy, big Samsung fan. So I'll be able to check it out via that. See if I like it.
Hmm. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay.
David, one second.
Sorry,
David.
David. Okay. What did David say? David says, 5 kidneys ready for sale. David, FBI.
Oh no,
He says,
FBI agent in my
open up.
phone. It's got me.
Yeah, the FBI agent in your
Where's my
phone.
kidney?
He's gonna ask you, Adam, where'd you get all those kidneys from? The government is about to raid Adam's house on stream. Yep,
Oh.
definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
man. That's funny.
Okay, so yeah, so Tayo says, have you guys covered the SD card slot removal? I really want to know your opinions because it consumes a lot of space.
Yeah, so here's what I'm gonna say about the SD card. I like it as an option, right? You know, instead of spending hundreds of dollars on storage, you can get an SD card for like $30. I think you can get one from Samsung themselves, $30, 256 gigabytes. With that said, Samsung did reduce the prices of storage for the S21 series. So we see that going from 128 gigabytes to 256 is $50. I would say that's going to be worth it for many people who keep their phone very long. And then the S21 Ultra has a 512 gigabyte version. The other two do not. And that one is $200 difference. And all of this is here in the US, of course. But yeah, so definitely interesting there.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. Yeah, it's really awesome that they did decide to make storage, onboard storage much cheaper. But 8K, filming in 8K, it does consume a lot of space, but I don't think anyone would be filming in 8K at this very moment. It's not, I don't think it's good enough just yet for, normal consumption. First of all, how many people have 8K TVs or 8K screens or, 8K devices? Even 4K content is pretty rare because a lot of people just have full HD plus devices. So filming in 8K at this, just right now, I'm not really sure it's the best idea. It's not really the best move, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, and to add on to that, like you said, no one has really 8K TVs. There are thousands of dollars, even here in the US, where we can get 4K TVs quite easily. So I can see more of an argument towards 4K. I can get a 4K TV for like $200. So it's pretty good. But yeah, 8K, we're going to have to wait a while. And to kind of see those differences, I would just keep your frames and qualities of 4K that we're seeing. So I wish Samsung really focused on that more than like marketing jargon in 8K, because that's really what it is, don't you think, Johannes?
It definitely a lot of marketing jargon. It's the same thing with the S20 Ultra and their 100 times space zoom. They're just, throwing as many. And I really, really loved Marquez's title for the S20 Ultra review last year. Attack of the numbers. That is Samsung. They just attack you with numbers. We've got 108 megapixels, 100 times space zoom, this, that, throwing so many numbers at you. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I was very excited to see the 108 megapixel camera last year, and it really did disappoint. In the Note 20 Ultra, it got better, especially because of the laser auto focus. So I'm excited to see if it yields better results in this year's one as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would really, really hope it does yield better results. But I don't think anyone should be zooming in at 100 times just yet. I mean, come on, what are you looking for? Yeah, definitely stalker level. Okay, David says RG and Patrick definitely have at least three 8K televisions. Yes, yes, this is the
Yep,
truth. This
yep.
is the truth. Yeah, the main man do have at least three of them.
Mhm.
Pixelated says, in my opinion, Ultra should have gotten an SD card slot regardless. One more Ultra feature, but I mean, an SD card slot as an Ultra feature.
It's a feature.
It's yeah,
I think, yeah.
yeah, it's a feature. Yeah,
So,
I do understand where you're coming from.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And like maybe those people are recording more 4K video at maybe even 60 frames per second, and that takes up a lot of space too. So
Space.
I could see it. Definitely.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. Yeah. Okay. So Brett says the only one who has an 8K TV is MKBHD. Definitely. Not no surprise there.
Yeah.
Michael says shooting an 8K video is just for you to test it out on your 8K TV without buying an 8K camera. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, where
Yeah.
can I get one of those?
Yeah, yeah, Michael, please tell us in the comments, like, where can we get an 8K TV? Adam has the funds. Don't worry, he has several kidneys to sell, so
Just like
he's
David
good
said.
money wise. Just
I
like
still
David
don't
said.
get me one.
Yeah, because David says Adam just admitted to a felony
For having too many kidneys.
for having too many kidneys. Okay, and then we've got another boss in the chat. We've got Tech Mayor. So salute.
Hey.
Tech Mayor says 1080p is plenty for a phone. 4K is all right for a TV, and a very high number of people don't have 4K. Why the 8K? What's the point of 8K?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. But we should talk about so an obvious omission in the S21 and S21 Plus is no 1440p. And I'm someone who actually doesn't personally care, and I'm a big display knob. And why I don't care is because I was using 120 hertz anyway, and it looks plenty of sharp on Samsung's display. Some of the new features of the S21 include better contrast. What I thought was really cool was the blue light filter thing. If that could work even better, that'd be really cool because I've had sleeping issues at times, and anything to help would be nice, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely, definitely.
Oh, hey,
Yeah, I
Ian.
just feel like, yeah, Ian is here. Hey, what's up, Ian? Oh, that was a mistake. Hey, what's up, Ian? Thanks for stopping by. It's been it's awesome to see you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, all right. So before we, because we've taken a bit of time, I think we should be getting ready to round up.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
quickly
talk about
talk.
Exynos. Do you want to
Yeah,
talk
let's talk
about
about
Exynos real
Exynos.
quick? Yeah.
Definitely. Before we get into Exynos, though, we've got Team VRY in the chat as well.
Hey, Mike.
Hey,
What's up, man?
Mike. Nice to see you, man. Hey, man. It's great to see you. Okay.
Man.
Oh, we've also got McNell. Yo, man.
What's
What's
good,
up?
McNeil?
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, more people are showing up. That's awesome. All
Yeah.
right. So, Exynos, the Exynos 2100 chip. What are your
Okay.
thoughts?
So, all right, we see a lot of improvements on this, which I'm very happy about. They held a event for it, which was very cool to see. I think they took it personally, like Exynos. Everyone was so upset about Exynos in Europe and everywhere other in the United States, really, because we got Snapdragon. But yeah, we talked about on Tech News Nerds Cortex X and AMD, and so the 2100 does not have the AMD GPU, but they did announce that that is coming. And we saw Cortex X for one of the cores, meaning we saw a significant upgrade in performance, which was just great to see. I think the numbers, at least the leaked numbers, show that at least compared to the 888, it is doing better on CPU tasks and a little bit worse on GPU. So when AMD does come in for that, maybe we'll see even more comparable performance. But good on Samsung for improving it. My biggest issue is probably power consumption because we've seen the test of the Qualcomm one just destroying it in battery life. So, and 5 nanometers will help in power consumption, and Samsung has taken more efforts to make sure it's on par with Qualcomm. So yeah, I'm very happy to see that. Can't wait for the future. What do you think?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Same thing here. I mean, initially, Exynos was, the problem with Exynos was that it was not as powerful as the Snapdragon variants. And then we started having battery issues, starting having overheating issues. And I mean, right now, for people out of the US who are getting the Exynos version by default, I think the main prayer that they have, or the main hope that they do have, is they just want it to be on par with Snapdragon. They want to have the same experience as those with the Snapdragon chipset. So, no thermal throttling, no overheating, no lagging, no super battery consumption. We just want the same experience as those with the Snapdragon version. And I really hope they're able to deliver with the Exynos 2100.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see, right, with all these tests. I'm optimistic,
Yeah.
but yeah. I think we should. So Mike talked about 5G. But yeah, we'll see this. I'm excited
Yeah,
for
yeah,
those tests as well.
yeah, definitely excited for the battery and speed test between the Exynos because
Yeah,
they've
Phone Buff.
really
Have you
hyped
watched
the
Phone Buff
Exynos.
before?
Yeah,
Have
I
you watched?
have.
Yeah, he does a really good job of these kind of things. So I want to see his
Yeah, the
review.
speed tests are. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Phone Buff is really good with the speed tests.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, at least it's got 5G, 5G,
5G,
5G,
5G.
5G.
Love that acronym. Yeah,
Yeah, 5G.
it is good to see. I've always been a advocate of 5G, not because of the things we are getting now, but people keep their phones a lot longer than us. We switch quite quickly because we're tech nerds. But for the people
Mhm,
who keep their phones in the long term, 5G is a good thing to have. So,
mhm.
but yeah,
Yeah.
um, 5G probably not the most important thing right now.
Oh well, but Ian does says 5G is so much more important than a 1440p display, right? I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
You know what? I'm going to be controversial here. I would take 5G over a 1440p display because I wasn't using it anyway. I was using 120 hertz.
1080p. Yeah, you were using 1080p.
Right.
So
I was using
yeah,
1080p with 120 hertz,
you
and
know,
that wasn't
120
allowed
minutes. Yeah,
before. Yeah. So that is why I will
yeah,
take it. But
yeah. No, it's not that controversial. I think I would take it as well because 5G does allow you to be a little bit future proof. When it
yeah.
does become more available over the next couple of years. 1440p is going to stay the same. It's not going to give you anything new, but 5G does give you room to like breathe and grow as the technology does advance.
Yeah, I tried it actually. The millimeter wave 5G because I've tried low band 5G. I actually made a video, and it's not all that different from LTE, unfortunately, at this moment. But I was able to try millimeter wave 5G, and man, that was cool. It obviously it gets very obstructed quite easily, but when I got it to work, I downloaded an entire episode of The Witcher in under a minute, and I was like, "Whoa, this is amazing!"
Wow. That's really, really fast.
Yeah.
Okay. It's awesome. Okay. Hey, JCVP is here. What's up, man? How
Hey.
you doing? Okay. So he says, hey guys, getting the Exynos variant of the S21 Ultra tomorrow. That is awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Will be exciting to test it out. People saying the Snapdragon 888 is poor as gaming.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's
that the first
interesting.
time I'm hearing about that.
Yeah, because from what I've seen, at least benchmarked wise, the GPU was better on the 888. It had the Adreno, I believe 660 versus the Mali one in the Exynos version. I forgot which one it was exactly, but yeah, that was some of the biggest differences between the two because they use the same kind of structure for the CPU. Like both use one core of Cortex X, and then it's 3 of Cortex 78, and then 75 or 55 after that. But 455 high efficiency cores, I believe, if I am remembering this right. But yeah, that's interesting to see. I would like to see gaming tests for sure, see how the frames do.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely would definitely be interesting to check it out. The 888 being port gaming. Sounds really interesting, but all we can do is wait and see, honestly.
yeah,
I love, Mike is out here being very traditional, and I love it. Honestly, just wish it had an SD slot, 3.5 mm, and a charger. I'm a simple dude. Really, that is all we want.
Yeah,
Pretty simple.
you can't blame them there. If we thought about it, the S10 had all three of those things, right? Yeah, I believe the
Precisely. Yeah,
S10 did.
definitely.
So,
The S10 did.
yeah,
So I mean,
great
come
phone right
on.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay, so yeah. Ian said, luckily it's not like 4G where it was limited bands initially and then expanded over time. Yeah, okay, so we have several bands of 5G available right now, just not available at the same time. So
Yeah,
um
and it's what Verizon's doing, at least from what I know. They're using a DSS solution, so dynamic spectrum sharing, where it's sharing most of the hardware of 4G right now, which is why you're seeing similar speeds on low band. So we're gonna have to wait for that stuff to, work its way through. I think at least in my area, because I'm not in the major city, I'll be banking on like mid-band 5G to really make the big difference for me. But yeah.
okay. Oh, okay. So we've got Juan in the
Hey,
chat. Hey, man, what's up? Great to see you.
Juan.
It's really awesome to see you here, man. Okay, so he says some concerns from folks after prolonged gaming tests on the Xiaomi Mi 11 was kind of flaky.
Hmm.
But I think that's more an issue with Xiaomi than Qualcomm. Okay, yeah, that is possible because one thing we always preach about is optimization. Hardware only goes so far. You've also got to ensure your software is really optimized to work very well with the hardware. So perhaps the flaky gaming performance is due to a lack of optimization on Xiaomi's part. That's a possibility.
Yeah, we'll have to see future testing, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
definitely a
definitely.
concern. It would be interesting because I haven't had really gaming issues with previous at least premium or flagship Qualcomm processors in the past. So
Mm-hmm.
at least in the past few years, ever since like the 855, I haven't had much of an issue gaming at all. So
Sure, yeah. Yeah, let's see how it does subsequently. Okay, so JCVP says the 888 on the Mi 11 was a bit poor, just like Juan said, but it could be a Xiaomi issue. It was also the IQ 007 smartphone from Vivo. Okay, so yeah, perhaps also like we said, an optimization issue. We'll just have to wait to see. There isn't really anything we can, do about that right now. When a lot more people get their hands on these devices, then we'll be able to make a verdict. Or if we are able to get our hands on these devices as well, I trust that you're going to get a comparison up very soon, Adam. So
I'll
we'll be
try
looking
when I
forward
get it in hand, we'll get some of those videos. I'll do a gaming test because I do that with a lot of my phones. So we'll have to see how it
to.
fares in that. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely be looking forward to that. Okay. All right. So I think this is a really good place to round things up for today. Yeah, it has really been awesome, getting to talk with you guys and
Yeah.
interact with you guys. Yeah, this is our first Tech News Nerds episode for the year 2021. It's really awesome to see everyone that came out today. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you showing your support. And if you haven't already, we're available on all your podcast, platforms: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and so on. So definitely check us out there as well. Anything you'd like to say, Adam?
Yeah, I was really cool to see all you guys who joined the chat today and the stream. If you're not chatting and still watching, we still really appreciate you. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know if you like this kind of style. Maybe we'll do more live streams because these are pretty fun. But yeah.
Yeah, they are definitely pretty fun. Much more. Yeah, a lot more fun. Okay, so thank you guys so much once again, and we will catch you in the next episode. Take care. Have an awesome day. Peace.
And peace.